Mr. Glenn Darcy, before the madness starts, we're in the halls. We're very fortunate to have a little bit of peace and quiet.
Yeah, and the voices still works.
Yeah, so
the feet don't hurt yet. So.
Oh, well, you've got quality carpet. I
can
feel
we're good. We're good.
So, what's new in the world of the Hydrasynth? Because if anyone hasn't realised, the Hydrasynth has been a bit of a hit so far, right?
Yeah, it's been doing great. We can't build them fast enough, so that's a good problem to have. We've already done a 1.3 update. We've added the support for MPE on both the keyboard and the desktop, so it will send and receive full MIDI MPE now.
Oh, nice! Right.
Yeah, that's the biggest feature addition.
I did see some other things in 1.3. Is it 1.3 downloadable now? Is it available?
Yes, it's available now. You go to ashensoundmachines.com webpage on our downloads. You get the 1.3 update. We also have our patch manager software, so you can download, you can back up and store your patches and move them around on your computer, as well as our firmware updater.
So I did hear there were some other features in the firmware. Well, I mean, MPE is a biggie, but obviously...
MPE was the most requested feature that we had. And it was something we actually had specified before we shipped, but the engineers just needed more time to get it going. One other thing that we added was in the voice page, we added a warm mode. And a warm mode basically tailors the output of the voice to kind of mimic a certain vintage synthesizer. So it basically rounds out the top end, gives a little low end boost, and it kind of cleans up that high end that some people don't expect with a digital synth.
Yeah, okay.
The crystal aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean, because this can be very bright and brash.
Yeah, I mean, because the waveforms have extra high harmonics that most people aren't listening to and playing with. So yeah, we basically curve off the high end, boost the low end. If you download the manual on the 1.3 update, it shows what we do with the output curves and stuff. So, but yeah, warm mode, it's on and off. It's something that you can set per patch. It's kind of subtle to hear here at a trade show.
Yeah, sure, I understand.
But it works really well if you're trying to do analog Oberheim pads or Moog-based types of stuff. Warm mode on really kind of rounds out the sound on that stuff.
So, I mean, I'm curious because, I mean, there's a lot of DSP in here. I mean, it is a DSP synth, ultimately.
Yep.
I mean, is there much headroom? I mean, can you have a bit more blue sky thinking in? I mean, I know it does what it does well.
The headroom is getting a little tight as far as the code that we're running in here. We've got some room for some other things that we are planning on doing. Like anything, we're not releasing what we're planning on doing until we're ready to do it. So, yeah, there's other stuff that we're doing, and we have ideas for down the road coming up.
And you were saying there's a new bank of sounds as well, right?
Yeah, we have a new 128 sounds that they're going to be available here in the next day on our website as well. It's a bunch of sounds that were done by Mati Asimovich, a.k.a. Inhalt. He did a bunch of sounds that kind of border on some of the vintage synth things, some just huge sounds. Did some cool FM stuff. But he just did some great big sounds, very usable, very playable stuff. Again, that's going to be a free download that should be coming up in the next day or two.
And how is production going? Because I know it's like sometimes demand can outstrip supply a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
I know you were saying
we got our productions running full speed now. We've got all of our distributor network is set up at this point. So units are going out, and as fast as we can build them and get them onto container ships and get them to distributors, they're moving.
Excellent. So I'm guessing, I know this question is almost pointless, but I mean, you're working for a new synth company. This is a new synth. There must be other stuff in the pipeline as well as what you're working on here. Right?
Oh yeah, there's definitely more stuff in the pipeline.
And how's this? The one thing that was really interesting for me about this was that you put poly aftertouch, sort of at the heart of it, and really made that kind of expressive. I was wondering whether, because with the touch strip of that, was there a bit of CS80 influence in there?
Oh, of course. CS80 is one of the most beautiful, expressive machines ever made. Between that, I'm a Prophet T8 owner. I've got a big collection of vintage sequential circuits gear. The T8 has wonderful poly aftertouch. It's something that I've always wanted in synths. I've been asking for and trying to get from companies for 15 years now, and I'm finally with a parent company that could actually do it and do it right.
Is it hard to make a good poly aftertouch keyboard? Is that
The technology behind it's very simple. I mean, there's about 5 different ways that you can do it: capacitive, resistive, magnetic, inductive, all kinds of variations. The biggest part's the mechanics and getting it to feel right, getting the right amount of throw on the thing. Doing poly aftertouch in and of itself, the technology is easy, but making it feel right and getting it where every key is calibrated properly, that's where the trick is. It's like most engineering things. The first 90% is really only 10%. It's the last 10% is really the 90%.
So often we hear that. I mean, that's the thing that was interesting with you guys, because you dropped this stuff and it was kind of ready to go. I mean, when I reviewed it, I wasn't thinking, oh yeah, the firmware's not really up together. It was really bang on. I mean, you were ready to go.
Yeah.
Was that something that surprised you at the speed of it, or you just waited until it was absolutely right?
We pretty much waited till it was right. We could have actually shown prototypes that were working pretty well last year at NAMM show. But I like to hold things back. There's no reason to be showing off, talking about gear before it's ready. We announced it in September for KnobCon, and at that point we didn't have any dealers or distributors, so we had to announce it at that point to build our distributor network. So now we've got that in place. So future products, I'm going to try to get them where we're closer to show and ship type of days.
It must be very tempting, particularly with a new company, because by showing prototypes, you're sort of testing the market and see what demand's likely to be. But at the same time, you don't get to see it at its best. So it's
my feeling is that it's pretty easy to get people excited one time. To try to get them excited twice about a product. So you show it too early, it doesn't work right. You never know what delays are going to happen. In this, we ended up having a delay in the middle of production because the third-party supplier for metal work couldn't get the bottom panel straight. So we had to halt production. So totally out of our control. We're like, nope, we're rejecting all this metal work because we want them to be flat. And it gave us some delays. So.
It's interesting. I think that a lot of the world doesn't quite realize how complex production of hardware is, and how complicated it can be, and what the delays can be and whatnot. So
yeah, especially on a small scale. I mean, anybody in the music business here, we're dealing with things on small scales. We aren't Apple. We're not dealing with 1 million products. So when you're building things in runs of 1,000, 2,000 units, the whole scale of build is much more difficult. People don't understand the logistic issues there are in building any product.
But anyway, so the Hydrasynth, and we've also got the desktop here as well.
Yes,
so
we
both
do.
These guys working and available now, or certainly more available now.
Yeah,
right?
definitely more available. I mean, they're being sold out about as quick as people are getting them, but they are definitely units going out to all over the world. They're on ships. They're being built in our factory. A lot of dealers do have them. So.
And lots of people doing demos and reviews.
Yeah, a lot of people doing demos and reviews online now. So.
Glenn, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.